my dream to see a black child or any other color equally. I want to see these children to enjoy the equestrian.
I didn't think he will go this far.
Don't rest too much on your horse's neck. Keep your body higher. Look, that's it. Look, I'm cantering.
69-year-old Enos Mafokate has been overcoming hurdles all his life. Today he's teaching a new generation of South Africans to do the same. Here, as across the world, horse riding is all too often the preserve of the wealthy and the white. Enos has devoted his life to changing all that. His cups and rosettes are testament to his successes in Europe as well as in South Africa. But Enos has done more than simply win trophies. Many were achieved at a time when whites ruled South Africa and blacks were segregated under a shameful system known as apartheid. Enos broke through these racial barriers to become the country's very first black show jumper.
You're riding like a cowboy. You don't feel for this horse things.
Enos's goal today is to enable disadvantaged young South Africans to become award winners too. That's why in 2007 he set up this riding centre in Soweto in Gauteng province, an area often associated with poverty and crime.
Good boy. Good. Give him a pat.
Like most of the young people he now teaches, Enos's roots were modest.
My family, they were not rich, they were not poor. They didn't have a lot of money, but they would look after us.
Enos grew up during the early days of racial segregation in South Africa.
The life was not good for a black people. Was actually a wall in front of it. The apartheid have really mess up a lot of things, because when you're not allowed to go there, when you're not allowed to buy that, when you're not allowed to sit on a horse, it was very, very hard.
When the horse have done something nice, you must give him a pat and just say, very nice.
But Enos's love of horses knew no colour bar. He had a donkey. On the other side of the river lived a white boy called John who had a horse. The two lads traded.
For me to sit on a horse and holding those reins was the biggest thing to me, which I'm struggling.
But the forbidden friendship drew attacks from all sides.
His father would come and shout at me, and I'll go home. Some other older people have seen it. They told my family, I'll go there. They tell me I'm going to go in jail when I let the white child riding that donkey. But me and little John, we never saw the colors. We never saw these things.
At 14, Enos left home and got a job as a stable hand. He rose to become a top groom and learnt to ride and jump. At first, he was only allowed to compete against other blacks, but by the mid-1970s, competing against whites was possible too, though equality was still a distant dream.
After the competition, the whites go to the hotels, and most of the time, I'll go back with my horses and go in a horse box and sleeping in a horse box, and in the morning I take a bucket and washing myself.
By now, demonstrations against apartheid were taking place in much of the world. Many countries imposed sanctions banning trade with South Africa and its participation in international sporting events. Once again, Enos was a trailblazer for change. In 1980, British rider David Broom saw him riding Cape Town and suggested he compete in the UK. A sponsor was found, and Enos became the first South African in 20 years to take part in a sporting event outside his country.
My first show was at Wales. I won it. My first show.
These days, success for Enos means passing on his skills to others. Around 50 young riders, their ages ranging from around 5 to 25, are regulars at his centre, which receives funding from the government, companies and individuals. Most have grown up in the surrounding streets, and in coming here, they're learning to do much more than simply ride.
I always say to them, as they enter this yard, this Soweto riding centre, they must just know no smoking, no drinking, no doing bad things, nobody carrying knife, nobody carrying and things like that.
Although it was as a show jumper that Enos gained fame, his centre is best known for vaulting, the name given to gymnastics on horseback. Enos decided to focus on this aspect of the sport because it's easier and cheaper to find suitable horses, enabling more young people to take part. 14-year-old Buemo Magalamele lives just minutes from the centre. She started training here when she was 11.
Enos is a loving teacher. He'll never give up on us no matter what we do. He's the person who actually believes in you more than you'll ever believe in yourself.
Musa Maluleke is 19 and also Soweto born and bred.
Enos is a great teacher because I've been around him for 12 years and he's taught me a lot of things like respect, discipline, and he is a great motivator to me. He's always pushing us on our education so that we can't basically focus only on riding horses, but to focus more on school.
Among the centre's biggest success stories is Musa's 20-year-old brother Kazane. He started training with Enos at the age of 8 and is now a member of South Africa's national vaulting team.
Enos Mafokate is a very good coach. He's sort of like a father to me, and what I like about him is he doesn't like a child that is out of order. He wants a child to be very disciplined, so we get our discipline from him.
Kazane still lives in Soweto and is a regular at the centre, passing on what he's learnt to others.
Straight leg.
Among Enos's regulars are several of his grandchildren. They too seem to have riding in their blood.
Sometimes he takes us out and then we go and play with him. He likes tickling us all the time. I just say that my grandfather is the best of them all.
Training in vaulting is especially important right now because a key competition is coming up, the Gauteng Inter-Regional Championships. If Enos's young riders do well, they'll gain their provincial colours, a mark of what they've achieved in horsemanship. But it's not just many of the children here who come from disadvantaged backgrounds. The horses at Enos's centre have experienced hardship in the past too.
These 3 ponies, they came here with a very bad condition. After a month to 2 months, you see how they're going to look. When they came here, they couldn't even eat the carrots. And look at them today. Once you do like that, you're going to touch up here. You must never touch them by the corner.
Enos loves all horses, but one in particular, Salme, will always have a very special place in his heart. She died aged 25 in 2012 and is buried at the centre. It was while riding on Salme that Enos achieved some of his greatest successes.
Askrab sell me as my wife, as my second wife, not the first one, the second wife, and as a person, not a horse, because she was great. Great. Something which I'm never going to forget it.
Fortunately, Enos's first wife, Grace, is happy to share her husband's love. They've been married for coming up to 50 years, and their daughter Hazel is the fifth of 7 children.
I feel very proud because what he has achieved, I didn't think he will go this far, especially these days. I mean, he's getting old. That's where things are getting better for him. So I wish they would have been better before. But now, it's never too late. He's still young.
Pride of place in Enos's home is a photograph of himself at the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona in Spain. South Africa was then on the brink of abolishing apartheid, and the country was allowed to compete in the Games for the first time in more than 30 years. Enos and other non-white South Africans who'd forfeited the chance to compete in previous Olympics went with the national team.
We were the second country to walk in Barcelona in the stadium on the opening day. I'm telling you, what experience to find we all treating the same.
In Soweto, horses are not generally associated with sport or pleasure. They're working animals used to pull scrap metal and coal carts.
Do this!
Enos's expertise with them is well known locally, and if anything happens involving a horse, it's him they turn to. Today he's had an early morning call.
The police just came and called me and tell me up the road is a accident with a horse.
The accident is major. A lorry carrying beer bottles has swerved and shed its load while avoiding a runaway horse and cart. The emergency services are here to deal with the human casualties. Enos's concern is the welfare of the horse. He calls the animal charity the PDSA, with whom he regularly works. Once they arrive at the scene, the priority is to check over the horse. The animal has caused havoc, but what shape is it in? To be on the safe side, the horse should spend the night at the PDSA Animal Hospital. But it's never been in a horse box before and is understandably frightened. Fortunately, Enos is able to enlist the help of some passers-by. And finally, he gets the horse safely inside.
Who's next?
The welfare of working horses in Soweto is of prime importance to Enos, as is educating the people who work with them. Today he's arranged for a carriage driving competition to take place at the centre. The idea is to encourage the drivers to improve their skills and see carriage driving as a potential extra source of income. Enos has devised an obstacle course around which the carts must go. First, he walks the competitors around the course. Then, he shows them how it should be done.
Come on!
Presiding over the event is Natalie Hogg, herself a prize-winning carriage driver. Many of the men who drive the carts are, in their own ways, expert horsemen, yet they've had no formal training in handling horses or looking after them.
Good 3. Hi, man. Come on, Harry. Boa. Silala, come on left. Come on left. Straight. Hi, straight. Yeah. We are going number 3. Okay, go. Okay.
The standard has been high and choosing a winner isn't easy. All the competitors are given certificates.
Well done, all of you.
But first place goes to Samo Kumalo, who earns his living driving cartloads of coal and scrap metal.
Ubaba Enos umuntu oright kakhulu ngoba ubaba Enos sengisho ukuthi ubaba Enos umuntu oright and then like what one shooter ngoba ubaba Enos ukhona ukuthi masibuya esikolweni ukhona ukuthi asithathe asitrainise amahashi kusho ukuthi into nje esithanda kakhulu ngoba sometimes awukhona ukuthi uhambe uyostudy uyoganga yabona nje into esibalekayo kakhulu ngamahashi.
Enos and Natalie are delighted the competition has been such a success.
What Enos has done is amazing in all spheres, that he's competed in equestrian competitions firstly in show jumping, well he still does show jumping, and now taken up carriage driving. But what he does for the children in this area and, well, all people, and has them busy here and off the street and an interest and learning about horses. And the vaulting has been amazing. He does an incredible amount for the community around here. He's brilliant.
Enos himself took up carriage driving just a year ago. Never one to shy away from a challenge, he's to compete in a local event tomorrow. And as with all competitions, he's taking it very seriously.
Tonight, I'm not going to eat like other days. I'm not going to have a sleeping like other days. I'm going to have this sleeping to thinking, tomorrow I'm participating, tomorrow I want to going to do well.
Hip. Yeah, come on.
Next morning, Enos is at the riding centre soon after dawn. As always, his first job is to feed the chickens.
Right, I'm going now to get the horses. Jojo first, eh? Jojo. Hello, my boy.
Pulling one of Enos's carriages in the competition will be his trusted horse, Jojo.
Good boy. All right.
Shaka, who's relatively new to competing, will be pulling the other. The competition is due to start in a couple of hours. So how's Enos feeling?
A day like today, I'm very nervous. Till I get to the show and everything will be all right, till I started competing. But before that, I'm very nervous, which is true. And this doesn't only happen to me, happens also to my horses. They can take that nervous from me.
The competition is taking place at Kyalami Park Club in the South African commercial capital, Johannesburg. It's one of the country's most prestigious riding clubs.
Kyalami is where I became also the first black to be the life member. And you see a lot of whites, they are there, but I'm the only black person to be a life member there. We're just arriving now. I'm feeling much better now because I know now there's no way to go backwards. I have to do it.
Natalie, who judged the competition Enos organised yesterday, is also taking part.
Oh, my baby. Oh, it's a good girl.
The journey has taken more than an hour, and the priority now is to unload the horses. Shaka's out first.
Shaka is novice. It's his second show coming today, but I'm getting him to get calm. And I think when the time comes, he'll come right. Tra 5, tra 6.
Just like yesterday, the competitors must guide their carriages through a number of obstacles.
D, E, F.
Finally, the competition is underway, and Enos, driving a carriage pulled by Shaka, is the second competitor to enter the arena.
Time.
Some of his riding students have come to support him. Enos and Shaka get off to a good start. They manage the most difficult obstacle with relative ease. But Shaka's inexperience shows, and they've gone round the course too slowly for Enos to stand a chance of winning.
Went very nice. I mean, this is actually his second show, and I'm very pleased with him. And I could not take him too faster. And you see, when I'm going to go in with Jojo, I'm going to have more going than for him.
Certainly, Natalie and the other competitors make shorter work of the course. Now Enos's hopes are pinned on Jojo. They get off to a flying start, with Jojo making excellent time. They clear the most difficult obstacle. If Enos can manage the next challenge, he stands a real chance of winning. But then...
All right.
Unfortunately, there's no recovering from such a serious error.
Never mind.
In coming out of the arena, Enos and Jojo are now disqualified.
The horse thought, when he saw the white thing, he thought he was jumping. And this is what, of course, because he's been jumping at home. And he thought, that's a jump now, I must go for it. And then it was not, I put him too close to it because I never thought about that kind of a thing could happen with me and him. It's a shame because we were going so nicely, and now we're completely out now to win the competition. Yeah, Jojo, sorry, my boy. Very sorry. We didn't know that was not good, okay? Never mind, my boy. Never mind, it's not your fault. Okay.
The day hasn't been the success Enos had hoped for, but he's never been one to let a setback get him down. Just 1 week on, the Soweto Centre is abuzz with preparations for another competition, the Gauteng Inter-Regional Vaulting Championships. But the day hasn't got off to a good start. One of the best vaulting horses has been injured, and they're going to have to compete with another horse, Yamazane, that's very inexperienced.
We're feeling very nervous because then our horse is not here, so it just broke my heart. So now we have to use another horse, and we still have to practice on the other horse when we get to the show.
The team has been working towards today's competition for around a year. If they do well, they'll gain their provincial colours. Once again, the event is at Kyalami Park, though this time it's taking place inside. So far, Yamazane seems to be taking things in her stride. But everyone's wondering how she's going to cope with the new challenge ahead.
Yamazane has never actually been in the vaulting arena before. She's always been on the track, and the music might scare her a bit, and the hand clapping, of course. She might get a fright on them or buck me off. It makes me feel very nervous because I'm too much of a drama queen, and if I fall, my face.
I'm feeling a bit nervy because I'm doing on this horse. I'll be depending on her and see how she goes. So if she goes well, I'll do well.
As Yamazane is put through her paces in preparation for the event, the tension mounts.
I'm feeling a bit nervous.
Why?
Because then I think I'm gonna come out last.
This is our program of the day.
Many of Enos's riders are taking part in more than one event. As the championships get started, it's immediately clear that competition will be stiff. It's finally time for Enos's riders to compete. To everyone's relief, not least Musa's, Yamazane performs better than expected. A display of vaulting on a barrel goes without a hitch. And when it's finally Buemo's turn, Yamazane doesn't make a slip. By late afternoon, all the events are over. And it's now time for the judges to make their decisions. Meanwhile, it's a tense waiting game for Enos's team.
I'm confident about the show today, but then I really wish that, luck was, more, we had more luck, because of the horses and stuff.
It all went well. Now what we're waiting is to wait for the judge. But I'm very proud about all of you. I'm very happy. I've seen more better than what was before for all of them, how they're riding. So we're waiting for the last decision for the judges.
Finally, it's time for the winners to be announced.
We'll start by handing out the prizes and placings for the individuals.
There are rosettes and certificates for all of Enos's team.
Well done.
Musa and his partner have come second in an event, and Buemo and hers have won a first prize. Enos's team's provincial colours are now assured.
Actually, I'm overboard. I'm so happy I was even dancing.
It's been a great day. The children have shown what they've been doing at home, and they came here, and everything went so perfect. Really, I'm very proud to see how they did.
It's yet another victory for Enos. Perhaps not as great as that of helping to end apartheid, but for these young people, his impact continues to be life-changing nonetheless.
We plait them so they look a bit neat and nice. We only do this when we come into the show. At home we leave them, but they look more pretty being plaited. Somebody said, if you plait this front one, you give them a headache. So number of horses is not a dressage or a showing class. We don't plait them. We always leave that front part